All right, what's up, y'all? Back with the origins of my street name. Okay, I'm gonna try and get through this as quick as possible. Um, Stories from back in the '90s. I was must have probably just turned 18 years old. Um, I've never been much of a drug dealer, although I've been around that kind of shit. Um, this dude was trying to push some garbage on me, man, and I knew the shit was garbage. I'm like, nah, I don't even want that shit on me, like. And he just like trying to like front it to me. I'm like, bro, I don't want that shit. Basically trying to let him know like I don't even want that shit for free, but not in those words. And so he kept pushing and pushing. So finally, I'm like, you know what? I do know a few suckers that deal in that kind of shit, being trash. So for whatever reason, I'm like, whatever. The dude just wouldn't shut the fuck up, man. He didn't want no money, so I'm like, whatever, man. So I take it and I bring it to this individual who I actually stayed with around this time. I probably had just moved out like maybe a month earlier, and like to the point where my address was his address and it was on my ID. Like I really lived there. So at this point I had moved out. So I came back to do some business nights. I always had trash. So I'm like, here goes this. So an argument ensues over the low quality, which shocked the shit out of me because that's how bad it was that even a motherfucker who really didn't know shit was like, no good. So in this argument, the bag gets tossed on the floor just in the middle of a debate, okay? Theatrical shit. Bag gets tossed on the floor, right? So it's like me and like 5 or 6 other people, like 3 or 4 of my homeboys and like a couple of his peoples and his girlfriend. So as the argument carries into the kitchen, the girlfriend unknowingly at this point has picked up the bag of trash. And so I'm arguing with Buddy, her man, in the kitchen. This bitch is so bold that at some point we stop arguing and there's like 5 people, so now we're doing something else, but we're still kind of focused on this. She starts asking me if I can give her a ride up to Lund's, which is like right up the street, behind his back. And I don't even really like this dude like that, but I'm still like, hey, homie, what the fuck is up with your bitch trying to ask me for a ride? He's like, huh? Like, so, like, whatever the fuck. So we're not even paying attention to what got tossed on the floor because it just wasn't shit. So we're not paying attention. She done snatched it up. Now she's trying to bail with it. Nobody's paying attention yet. So she's so bold she tries to use me as a ride. Crazy. I'm like, what the fuck's up with your girl? Immediately bring it to, Buddy's attention. Like, man, why is your girl asking me for a ride behind your back, bro? You put her on blast. So then she asked another one of the homies, and he was on some sucker shit, probably trying to fuck behind his homie's back or something, and she was about to leave, and he was like on some sucker shit, probably coattailing her, and was like, where you going, Rico? She was like, shh, like don't say shit. So this bitch ends up leaving. Homie doesn't say nothing like a dummy, like he was supposed to say something, like I said something. He fucks around, doesn't say shit. She slides out with the trash. We figure it out, and now I'm really at homie's neck. Not only did you not want it, which that was cool, you shouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? But now your people's done stole it. Now you're in the shit over this, man. So this dumb motherfucker puts himself in the shit over this. Mind you, he's an addict. He's an addict. And so within 20 minutes, we track her down, and we're all at the house, including him. Of course, he had to come with to retrieve this shit. And so we all located. We're at the house. She tries to act like she don't got it. I snatch her up like, what the fuck? He's right there. He really doesn't even do shit like he's supposed to. But at some point, he kind of is like puts himself in the vice, and he's like, I'm gonna get it. Don't even worry, bro. Like, don't even sweat it. I'm gonna get it. And I'm like, cool, okay. Now, your bitch done stole my shit. Now you done now co-sign getting it back. Now what happens in between? Now it's about 11 o'clock at night. Mind you, this is the 9th, like 18. It's 11 o'clock at night, man. At about this time. So from this time to 7 in the morning is when I finally make contact with him, and he's like, "Yeah, come get your money." I don't remember if he said come get your money or come get the bag of garbage. So either or, I show up, and at this point I'm kind of heated. So one of my homies, man, he's about like 6'3", about 350. He's like, "Man, let me go with you. But I'm like, nah, man, you're going with me. And who I make come with me is the person that introduced me to him originally, before I even lived at his house, okay? So the person that made the original introduction was there at this time too. So I'm like, nah, man. And it was like his right-hand man. So now I'm testing him like, nah, dog, like, I don't even want, the biggest motherfucker in the room to come with. You're coming with. So he kind of turns pale. He's like, damn, but he knows he's got to come. So I bring him with me, and I'm just kind of already knowing this dude's going to do something wrong, I'm sure. I don't need this dude with me, but I'm just making him come, man, so he can see how this shit goes when you vouch for somebody and they do some fool shit. You know what I'm saying? So we get to the house. I start knocking on the door. Knock, knock, knock. It's like 7 in the morning. Knock, knock, knock. Sun's up, though. Not really the sun, but it's light out. But it's like the crack of dawn. It's got like these 2x4s, but they're like 2x4s, but they're like probably about 10 feet long, okay? And for some reason, it's just sitting outside of his front door. I'm knocking on the door now for like a minute or two. Now I'm knocking on the door for like a minute or two, and there's no answer. Now, mind you, I just talked to dude. He said, come get your shit. I got it. So, mind you, I already knew he was on some bullshit, and it was me, this female that was hanging out with us, and Buddy, who, like I said, I made him come with. So it's 3 of us, but the girl, she just driving. She never got out. So now I'm gonna put a name on him at this point, but it's not his real name. Me and B. So I bring B with me. You know what I'm saying? And I leave the homie Ray. I'm like, nah, that's the big dude who was like, man, let me come with. I'm like, nah. I leave him back at the crib. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, now we done arrived. I'm knocking on the door, and me and B are at the door, and it's his boy. Now his boy that he done vouched for and all this shit is not answering the door, and now it's becoming extremely clear that he's on some straight bitch shit. So I know now B's getting nervous, and I'm like, oh yeah? So mind you, there's a 2x4, and it's like 10 feet long. Now I've been knocking motherfucker didn't want to let me in. It's that Hemi's for. So now I've been knocking for like about 2, maybe 3 minutes. 7 o'clock in the morning. And he's not answering, so I grab the 2x4, I put it over my shoulder, like a motherfucking grenade launcher or something, right? And right as I run up at the door, and it's like got one of them glass um pane glass windows where it's like frosted. So it was dark inside, but he could probably see outside, and I'm sure he was looking because he was in there. So now he must see the motherfucking the 2x4 coming. So bam, I throw it right through the front of the door, and it's arm right there.